Hi there, my name's Kronenberg and welcome to my channel. This is a film review of Blame It on the Bellboy. It's a comedy, came out in 1992. It's rated, it's rated PG in Amazon and 12 in IMDb. It's an hour and 18 minutes. Amazon is 4.5 out of 5 and IMDb is 5.5 out of 10. I'm going to read both synopses because they're both kind of similar but a bit different. So Amazon is a daffy bellboy accidentally switches the itineraries of 3 hotel guests, causing a series of misadventures in this rollicking comedy. And IMDb is several strangers converge on a hotel in Venice, Italy, where a bellboy's bad English sets them up to clash against each other in a hilarious case of mistaken identity. So the director is Mark Herman, who directed The Boy in the Striped Pyjamas. Producer is Steve Abbott, Abbott, who produced A Fish Called Wanda, and Jennifer Howarth, Howarth, who produced On the Black Hill. Music was by Trevor Jones, who did Cliffhanger. Now the cast have picked the main 3, and then the 3 that they're, the other 3 as well. So we have Bronson Pinchot, 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 who was the bellboy, and he was in Risky Business. Brian Brown, who was Mike Lawton, who was in Cocktail. Dudley Moore, who was Melvin Orton, who was in Arthur. Richard Griffiths, who was Maurice Horton, who was in Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Andreas Kasoulas, who was Scarpa, was in Babylon 5, the series. Patsy Kensit was Caroline Wright, who was in Lethal Weapon 2. And Penelope Wilton, who was Patricia Fulford, who was in Shaun of the Dead. Locations was Venice, Veneto in Italy. The Hotel Gabriella, which is where it was actually based, was Riva degli Schiavoni, 4110 Venice, Veneto, Italy, and Shepperton Studios in Surrey in England, in the UK. This is like a recommendation for me to watch, so I did. I watched something a bit more different. In Amazon, get my teeth in Amazon. This isn't a free for one. This is you've got to pay for it. You can rent it or you can buy it. So I rented it. I actually watched it again, just the same, the next day, just because I liked it so much. The music from the start is kind of like classical, kind of upbeat, happy style music. So it kind of gets you into the thing. You already know you're not going to be watching a depressing comedy. You're going to be watching quite a upbeat comedy. And then as they're zooming in, you can see Venice. Because at the moment, when I watched it, if you read the Amazon synopsis, I have no idea it was Venice. It just says a daffy bellboy, blah 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 blah. I was like, oh okay then. So we're zooming. I thought, well, this looks nice. Where's this? And all the water and we didn't see the gondolas at first. We just saw the houses and stuff like that. But from what you could see, it didn't look like it was Venice, as it were. And then you zoomed in. It's in Venice. Somehow we start with some dude hanging upside down. Who was being sort of manhandled by Andreas Katsoulas, who was Scarpa. It didn't go down too well for him, but there you go. And then when the credits came up, because this is obviously as the credits were coming up, I was looking at the names. I was like, my goodness me, I didn't know who was in it. I was like, oh, all these people. I know a lot of these in films and stuff, so it's quite enjoyable. And there's obviously the others that I haven't even named on here as well, but there was quite a few. So, as you know, I love my quotes, or my little bits. So that Dudley Moore's is on this plane, and someone next to him asks him, because they're looking at magazines and stuff, and he says, are you okay? And he says, they're watching the safety checks, and he says, so, you're not a flyer? And he goes, no. He goes, do you think when you're plummeting into the Alps at 500 miles an hour, you're actually going to remember any of this? Because they're watching the checking, the checks thing, and he's like, and then, so Dudley's like reading something, and then he starts looking at his magazine, and he says, You're buying property, and then Dudley sort of replies and explains what he's doing. And then the bloke says, well, let's hope we all get there, eh? I thought, okay. And then the plane sets off and Dudley nearly craps himself. It's quite enjoyable watching that. Anyone that flies hates flying, you'll understand what I mean. I've been on flights before where somebody's sat there and you can see them gripping hold of the seat and thinking, well, it ain't going to help you. And it's just like, and I understand what you mean. If the oxygen thing has came down, what are you going to do? You're going to breathe on it for about 2 seconds and then smash into the rocks. It's it's the most bizarrest thing. I don't mean if you're up in the air. I mean if you plummet into your death. Sorry, I'll get back to the film. So as I started to watch this, I saw the Bellboy and I thought, it's from Risky Business. Brilliant film. Tom Cruise is in it. It's his film anyway, but he happens to be in there as well. Rebecca De Mornay. Very good film, very early film. Not like his normal stuff, if you know what I mean. But still quite good. Anyway, so I can spot the similar names and the mistakes. So what we got? We got Mike Lawton, Melvin Orton, and Maurice Horton. So L-O and H. And the mix-ups at the very beginning. There's no 30 minutes, learning how people are, looking around, all that rubbish. It just literally gets straight in, kicks in straight away. It's fantastic. It's the best way you should do most films. I said this for horror films. If you're going to do a horror film, get on with it straight away. If there's an action, do something. Whatever it is, just get on with it. There's nothing worse than watching a film. I've done it before. I've watched a film for half an hour and going, what the hell is going on? Nothing's happened. And then you turn it off because it's boring. But this didn't. This literally kicked in straight away. There's not much I can really say at the moment, but there was this guy in this bell tower, and that's all I'm going to say. And it was just absolutely hilarious when the bells and stuff. It was really good. I enjoyed that bit. I was chuckling away to that when that happened. Just imagine it. And then of course the mix-up is hilarious. It works so well, including the woman that's there, Patsy, stuff like that. And of course there's a chase. Got to have a chase. But it's not a car chase. Even if it's a running chase, I think you see it on the trailer. It's not anything like mad dashes and stuff like that. It's you can hear the guy absolutely panting for breath because you would do. You watch all these films and they all seem to be able to run like 200 miles without a breath. But of course there had to be a fruit stand, didn't there? There had to be. It's like a horror film and have to trip over. If you're having an action or a chase sequence, you've got to have a fruit stand. You've got to just plough through it. So they did. There was the oranges. Kind of annoys me a bit, but there you go. Yeah, I like the fact it's like 3 films all entwined. It's very good. And then there's a dialogue in a lift between the hitman and the woman. So I'm just kind of giving a bit away, but it tells you at the very beginning anyway. And others are chatting. They're also like chatting away. And these two are discussing names. And he says, well, go on then, what do you suggest? And she says, I don't know, I'm not a killer. And then all the rest of the lift just goes, oh! Thinking, probably not the best thing to say in the lift. But like I said, there's not much I can say about that film because it's a very good film. And, if it was very good. There was no negative stuff as far as I could see. I like the fact that they're all mixed up. But the other people assumed they were talking to the correct ones, which I thought worked really well. There was none of this, oh, really? But it all just worked so well, and it was entwined perfectly well. It's literally like watching 3 films together, and they're all working around each other and stuff like that, and not reckon. It was very good. And I was cracking up when watching it, which is always a good sign when you watch a comedy. Like I say, chasing was enjoyable. The ending was good. I like the ending. The music was pleasant. It wasn't like in your face and stuff like that. Believe it or not, I'm giving it an 8. I know. Hey, well, come on, really? But yes, I am. I mean, everyone else gives it what, 5.5 out of 10. I mean, come on. Probably because they're relating it to modern stuff. It's like, no, it's not like that. But it's really, really good. If you want to watch a good comedy that's just, it's got a little bit in there, but it's just enjoyable, fun to watch, and you could kind of relate, I suppose. There were just some certain parts. I mean, you watch them and it's just like you just feel for some of the people. But yeah, it's just so good. I loved it. So thank you very much for recommending that film. You know who you are. So if there's any more you can suggest like that, then go for it. Within reason, of course. I had to pay for this one. Obviously, that £3.99 really broke the bank balance. But I don't know. That's why I don't do it for most of my films. I rent them all. I get them all for free on Prime. Any hoodle. Hopefully you've enjoyed watching this and listening to this film review of Blame It on the Bellboy. Please subscribe to my channel. Got plenty of other film reviews on there. Mostly it's game reviews and let's plays, but I have done quite a lot of film reviews, so there's quite a few playlists there. You might be able to find something you like. Horrors are the main ones. There's some sci-fi kicking in, comedies now, all sorts of weird, wonderful stuff. So you might find something you might enjoy, or even stuff that you think you wouldn't have enjoyed, and then you watch the trailer or you listen to me babbling on, and you think, you know what, I might go for this one. Or you might not. You might realise that the one that you wanted to watch actually isn't the one you really want to watch. That's why I say it before. That's why I watch these films, so you don't have to. Or you maybe do, I don't know. Anywho, thank you for watching and goodbye.